In Ezekiel 47, Ezekiel shares with us a vision that the Lord had given him about a man who had introduced him to a river that initially trickles out of the temple, but eventually becomes so great, the Bible says, that no man could cross it. This river is quite different than, let's say, a pool, because the Bible says that this river brought life wherever it went. In fact, it turned salt water into fresh water. On both banks of the river there were fruit trees that bore fruit, and the Bible says that the leaves of these trees brought healing. Now, Ezekiel goes on to share that this man who's introduced him to the river goes about 1,500 feet from the temple and says to Ezekiel, invites him to step into the river. Initially, Ezekiel steps in and the river goes up to his ankles. I can sort of imagine that the life that was in the river, Ezekiel began to feel kind of around his ankles as he stepped into it. Then he says that the man went another 1,500 feet and the river was up to his knees. Ezekiel says the man went yet another 1,500 feet, invited Ezekiel into it, and the water went up to his waist. And then finally, one last time, he goes another 1,500 feet, invites Ezekiel into the river. Ezekiel steps in, and the water took over his entire body. I want to talk to you tonight about our vision for 2017 for on-ramps. God says that we will flourish this year by going deeper still. Deeper still. It's an invitation to all of us to go deeper into the river of God. For many of you, you may not feel like you are in the water. God is inviting us in. He says, step in the water and get your ankles wet. And for those of you that have already been in the water, he says, go a little bit deeper. And I want you to step in until your knees are wet. And if you're already in this deep, he says, I want you to go deeper still. Follow me deeper into the river. And I want you to get so deep that it's waist deep. And if you're already waist deep, God says, I want you to keep going deeper still until your entire body is in the water.